Hey guys, and today we're going to be completing the square. Now, completing the square is a way to solve quadratic equations, and it's super fun and super easy. Just to prove to you how quick and easy it is, I'm going to try and explain it to you in under 2 minutes. So let's get straight into it then. We're going to start off by completing the square for x squared plus 6x minus 7 equals 0. So we can do this only using 4 steps. So let's go! The first step would be to move the loose number to the other side. So then we would get x squared plus 6x equals 7. Step number 2. Now what we would do is half the x coefficient, square it, and then add it to both sides. So half of 6 would be 3. 3 squared would be 9. And adding 9 to both sides, we would just get plus 9 plus 9. Step number 3. Now what we would do is convert the left-hand side to the squared form and neaten up the right-hand side. Converting this to the squared form, we would get x plus 3 squared, so half the x coefficient, and that would just equal 16. Now our final step, step number 4, what we would do is find the value for x. We would do this by rearranging the equation. So we would get x plus 3 square root of 16. Square rooting the 16, we get the answer x plus 3 equals plus or minus 4. So then move the 3 to the other side. X equals plus or minus 4 minus 3. So we would get x equals minus 3 minus 4, which just equals minus 7. Or we would get x equals minus 3 plus 4, which would then just equal 1. So there's our 2 solutions, and we solved it with time to spare. Okay, so now let's go over the steps again. So first of all, what we do is we move the constant to the other side. Then we just half the x coefficient, square it, and add it to both sides. Next, just put the left-hand side in squared form and just tidy up the right-hand side. So just add and take away whatever's there. And now we just solve for x. This step isn't compulsory, but I like to do it since we've just finished a maths question. Okay, so now looking at a much harder example, we need to find x for 9x squared minus 6x minus 2 equals 0. So we would do this by completing the square. So if we recall, the first thing that we do is move the loose number to the other side. So we would get 9x squared minus 6x equals 2. Equals 2. Now for completing the square, the x squared coefficient must always equal to 1. So what we have to do is divide the whole equation by 9. So for this we would get x squared minus 6x over 9 equals 2 over 9. Step 2 was halving the x coefficient, and 6x over 9 halved equals a third x. So now what we have to do is square it and add it to both sides. So we would get 2 over 9 plus 1/9, which is a third squared. So now our third step would be to put this into the squared form and also to neaten this up. So we would get x minus a third x all squared equals to 1/3. So now by square rooting both sides, we would get x minus a third equals the square root of a third. And now solve for x. We get x equals a third plus or minus a third. The two values of x that we would get would be x equals minus 0.244. The other value, which I'll just write somewhere here, x equals 0.911 if you can just see that there. And that's it. Hopefully this video helped you a bit so you're now able to tackle any kind of completing the square problem. Thanks for watching. Bye.